Today, you are going to take your marker drawings of snowflakes and you're going to turn them into beautiful mixed media artworks using white oil pastels and cool watercolors. Let's get going.
Hello, my talented artists.
We are going to be working on the snowflakes that we drew together the last time I was absent. And if you do not have one, you can just freehand a snowflake. And you're going to only use white oil pastel. And you're going to go over all of your marker lines or pencil lines that you want to stay fast. If you can cover it completely with the white oil pastel, then the watercolor will not get to or touch the marker. And the marker, believe it or not, is actually watercolor. And it will spread if water touches it. Or, as we discover later in the video, the watercolor may not affect the marker. Depends on the marker. So, if we cover it, I'm going to leave this uncovered so you can see what happens if you don't cover. And whatever shapes you make or whatever lines you draw with your white oil pastel, they are going to resist the watercolor if you draw it thick enough. You have to really make sure you draw it thick enough. Really go over all of your marker lines or any lines that you want to show up in white oil pastel. Oil and water do not mix, so that's why when we paint watercolor on top of oil pastel, the oil pastel pushes the watercolor off of it so that you can see it. It doesn't cover it up. Really make sure that it's a nice thick layer of oil pastel. The watercolor might cover it up. So really, I need a little break. This is like PE for your hands. We're building up our hand muscles. And if you want to add snow dots, like snow's falling, just make sure they're nice and thick. Or you could add, like this little line somewhere. And just press hard. You can add whatever you want. You could add a hill with a snowman or whatever you want. You can't see it now because it's white on white. I'm done with my oil pastel. On to the watercolor part. We are going to use cool colors. And as you know, when we use watercolor, we need water in the little paint palettes. I already put water in these two, but I didn't put water in this one because I wanted to remind you that you carry the water over with your brush. So just bring over some water drops, and then to make it nice and dark, to make your watercolor show up nice and dark, you really have to rub and 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 rub a dub in the tub. And then you can paint over, and you can paint any brush stroke you like, and you can switch colors. I'm gonna do a little green, just a little green. A little green is nice. I like this nice dark blue ooh, it made a new color. The green and the dark blue make kind of a teal color. Ooh, that's cool. And you have to cover it completely for your white oil pastel to show up. Let me get some more paint. I want to make sure that my paper is completely covered. Sometimes you run out of paint in your little pads, so you have to bring more water over. Get in those little areas. Make some area. Oh, did you see that? That popped up. It's like a secret drawing or magic writing. Uh-oh, not enough paint there. And I want you to look for all of the white spots of the paper so that you know that the white that's showing is the oil pastel that you added. I'm gonna add a little green. I like a little green with the dark blue. That's pretty. But it takes a little bit of time to cover your whole paper. So make sure you're making a nice dark brush full of paint by rubbing so that we can really see the oil pastel. If the watercolor is kind of blocking your white oil pastel, you can actually wash it off. Just clean your brush in the water, and then you can just wash the watercolor off of your oil pastel lines. See, I can just move that. See how it's kind of blocking? I'm gonna wash my brush and then kind of look, isn't that cool? So the goal is to cover your whole paper. We're using cool colors today, so you feel free to mix between them and you'll make some new colors. Now we're going to test out this marker that is not protected by white oil pastel and see, nope, this particular marker does not bleed. Well, you'll have to tell me if it worked for you. You may have used a marker that bled, but it looks okay. Get all those dots of white that aren't oil pastel. That might be a little tricky. You have to be a detective. All right, have fun.